Yay! It's working today. Wonderful. It's been a long journey, but it's working. Now, of course, Instagram doesn't want to, but that's okay. We'll get it going here real quick. And boom, here comes Instagram. Beautiful. Hello, Instagram. We are live today talking about Moai. Moai. Meeting for a common purpose. And that common purpose today is finding out what's going to work for you to help you find balance, aid in your healing, aid in your growth, your spirituality, whatever you like. Moai here is all about working on you. As you repair yourself, those waves spread out and affect everything, everyone around you. They don't stop. Now, I love this today. I found this on Instagram a couple minutes early, but found this on Instagram. And it says, how do I grow spiritually? Growth overall, not even solely spiritual growth, is honestly just one big trial and error process. I know about that. Lots of trials, lots of errors, lots of successes. There is no one way to grow. There is no one secret or hack. There's only a correct way to grow. The only correct way to grow is the way that works for you. How do you figure this out? By trying different things. There are tons of different healing modalities, journaling, meditation, songwriting, breath work, etc. And you won't know which ones are best for you until you try them. Over time, through experience, you will develop a growth plan that is specific to you. And this was on Instagram at anewme.a.w. I can't agree more. I really can't. Because that's the truth. You have to find your way in where you're at. Oops. Where did we go here? There we are. You have to find your way in where you're at in your life. So for instance, I found my way to massage therapy school. No, I didn't find my way. I was shown the way to massage therapy school by way of force. Very interesting. I'll tell you a little story. I was living in Colorado at the time and had a sarcastic, wonderful experience in Colorado, attempting to be a ski bum. Didn't work out so much. And one of the guys that I lived with, I had 5 roommates, by the way. More than that if you consider all the people that would party there all the time. One of the guys that lived there, his brother came up and stayed with us. And when he was staying there, one of his roommates in Arizona moved out. And I said, well, once I'm done here, I'll move down there. And it's like a month away. So I go down there to visit him and take some stuff down. And I'd called an old company I'd worked for before, a construction company, and say, hey, can you hook me up with a job running backhoe? He's like, yeah, come on down. So I call him when I get down there on our little run. And he says, I'm sorry, we don't have an opening for running the backhoe. And you know what? It's hotter than hell down here. Go find something else to do. And I will always appreciate that man for saying that. I didn't end up digging ditches in 114 degree heat. I opened up a Yellow Pages, that's a telephone guide. I don't know if they make those anymore. And dialed the first massage school, which was the Arizona School of Massage Therapy in Tempe. And signed up that day. Filled out a loan. I mean, I was massively in debt. Filled out a loan. Thank you for giving me a loan. And started my journey. Now, I'd never had a massage before. I thought massage was just about rubbing oil on people and making them feel pretty. But through my experience in massage school and all the different modalities that they taught, I had greater range of motion and almost no pain in my shoulder from an old shoulder surgery. I wouldn't say I was happier because I was still suffering and I didn't understand my spiritual side yet or my emotional side, but I knew that my physical body felt better. Was it healed? No, but it felt better. I had an amazing job at the Boulders Resort. Beautiful place. If you ever get to go there, I highly recommend it. And that was the beginning of my journey. Now, I took other classes, for instance, Ashiatsu, which is, if you're into massage, it's a great thing. They give you the massage with their feet hanging, or not hanging, but holding onto the bars over your table, and that was great for me. But then I got Rolfed, and I'm like, oh, okay, I have to go to the Rolf Institute. So signed up for the Rolf Institute, and which is hard, because I was still in debt from previous mistakes, right? Trials and errors. And I had to shut down my office and go off to another state and pay more money to not only live there, but to the school. But I needed that. This is it. My body feels so much better, right? So I went to the Rolf Institute, and it was great. Exactly what I needed. First time I went, my instructor, John Martin, very methodical, very organized, perfect, wonderful. Second time that I went there, I was a little worried because it was Duffy Allen, and according to what I was told, she's not so methodical. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll deal with it. Well, she was exactly what I needed because she started showing me my potential to move farther than the physical. Did I understand it? No, but it wasn't her place to teach me. She was just showing me what could happen. So, by the way, if you're out there and if you have any questions, feel free to shoot something in the comments, wherever that may be. Let's see if it's actually coming up here. I don't know. It's okay. I'm getting better at this. I tried doing this last night with a pre-set up one and screwed everything up. So it's getting better. That's all I know. So after the Rolf Institute, it was, well, it started out really well, but then the crash of everything hit, and I ended up having to shut down and work out of my house and blah, 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 right? So, boom, there it is, nice. So, then we had a child, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to work in the house with a baby here. I don't want to bother my clients or anything like that, so I had to find a place to open up again, which was scary because I did not have the clients to pay for a place. My wife was not going to be working, but it needed to be done. So found an amazing place here locally, actually just right down the street now. And within 2 weeks, I was booked out the door. Holy cow. And I'm booked 2 weeks in advance. I'd never seen that before. And I got bills paid off, all credit cards paid off, while my wife was not working, by the way. I was able to buy a low-level laser, which took me to the frequency aspect of healing. And it was great. Supported my family on one income, practicing Rolfing, purely Rolfing. But then things changed, right? I started learning more about the energy, integrating tapping into it, because in my body, I would go for a walk, and within a quarter mile, my back and my hips would be destroyed, and I couldn't figure it out. It was so frustrating. My wife will tell you how many times I called her up and told her, I finally found my back pain. I've healed it. Yay! And I could feel her rolling her eyes over the other side of the phone, because she's like, no, you're not. You're just going to complain about it again tomorrow. And sure enough, tomorrow the back pain would come back up. so frustrating, right? You're searching and searching and searching for a cure, something, anything to help, and nothing is working. So when I started integrating the tapping into my work, and I would tap along with people in relation to experiences in their life that they needed to release. Excuse me, I'm trying to bring up my keynote here. Anything and everything, bringing things into their life. We tapped so many times on the song "Let It Go," because that's what we need to do, and we need to let go of the bull crap, right? And tapping on all these emotions from the emotion wheel. And lo and behold, a few weeks ago, I actually found a site that had primary and secondary emotions. So if you think about it, the human language is astronomical, right? So while these words are a good start, they're not the end all be all. But each word has a slightly different frequency. So anger and rage are different than anxiousness. Although we might feel anxious, we might actually be angry. And everybody's body processes everything differently. So let's say I learned tapping, and then neurokinetic therapy, and then something called voila, balancing the cranial bones in relation to movement or emotion or whatever. And my business just kept going down and down and down. And it very disappointing, depression, sadness, and ended up having to close my office because I can't afford it anymore. I don't have the clientele. Blown out of my mind, right? So I was able to build a small shop behind my house and continued working, but not nearly at the level I was. But most importantly, I think every night I would go in there and work on myself for an hour to 3 hours at a time. Burning sage, tapping, balancing meridians, chakras, organs, nerves, whatever came up. And that is how I've come about this work that I'm doing now. For instance, working with the cranium, working with the meridians, working directly with the brain. I taught myself how to draw with this work. So exciting. I was able to draw roses and dragons, and it was so cool. And I could not draw before this time. I mean, my go-to was a running star. That's what I was able to draw. And so with this work that I offer, I was able to get out of my way and literally tap into my weaknesses, my imbalances, my insecurities to allow myself to work. And I really love what I do. I really love what I have to offer. I really love that I could energetically work on my Wi-Fi. Acknowledge when I'm getting too big and screwing up the Wi-Fi. So bringing that energy back down so that my frequencies don't overwhelm the frequency the Wi-Fi is trying to put out. Even though I shouldn't be using Wi-Fi right now, I need to figure out how to have the Wi-Fi on while I am plugged in, so I don't screw up the Wi-Fi. So I think I'll be checking on that tonight. Alright, we're going to leave that there. Oops. So knowing where you're at and what you're available for, it's so very important. And if you don't know, hey, you can go to someone and ask. Of course, asking isn't always the easiest thing to do, right? And sometimes we're able to ask, but we don't accept the information or the help that's trying to be offered. I had a conversation with a woman yesterday, wonderful woman I met, buying some shungite, and I unfortunately can't pronounce it unless I'm looking at it. Shiitake. Yes. Look that up for you. Shiitake. Beautiful little crystal. Heightens vibrations. Which I've got all my crystals over there. And I set up around my room not only to help protect my family from anything that comes through, but also to help intensify the energy to get a better connection to whoever may be asking for assistance today. If there is anyone out there. Yeah, I don't know. Well, says I've got a good connection. I don't know. So, why don't we work today with figuring out something we could work with. So let's go ahead and come on over here. Drink a little bit of water. Got really excited there. Water is very important, because if you're working with somebody and you're dehydrated, they're not going to be able to make as good of a connection with you because the vibration changes. So make sure if you're getting any work done, whether it be a massage, psychotherapy, rolfing, whatever, energetic work, you're energetically working with yourself. Make sure you're hydrated. It's so very important. Make sure you're not sucking down a white chocolate mocha from Starbucks, because the sugar is going to screw you up. It's going to screw up your frequency. I'm not saying that I don't eat sugar, but when it's time to get down and be serious, you got to be serious. All right. So we're going to do a little meridian work today. Alright, so let's get back to where I need to be. Now, one thing that I found about all of this work is one thing that everything has in common in how I'm working is emotions. Okay? And this is from Jane Bartholomew. It's on my website, and then which will take you directly to hers if you're interested. So we're going to work on the triple burner meridian today. And the consciousness of the triple burner, according to her work, right? And the only reason I use this work is because it resonates with me. And we're going to work on coordination, discernment, harmony, and suspicion. Now, these things are going to mean something different to everybody. So whether you're watching right now or you're watching in the future, think of how these words feel to you. For instance, yawning is a great sign that you're releasing. Tearing in the eyes, but also could mean that you're trying to do too much. So I'm going to slow down the frequency. I'm going to slow down the information coming in. I learned that from a guy teaches classes. His name's Ali Cardinelli. Very grateful for the information that he's given me recently. Helped me to figure out exactly who I am and what might be happening when I get overwhelmed. Basically, I'm trying to help 10,000 billion people all at once, and if I can just get the one, maybe 10, or the one commonality in all of those people, so that I'm not connected to all of them. And maybe it's not even people, maybe it's just situations, maybe it's animals. I don't know everything that's coming through. Maybe I will one day, maybe I won't. I'm okay with it, either way. Seems like my stream health is just bumping up and down and up and down. So I'm hoping that this is working very well for you today. Looks like Instagram is doing well. I might need a different router, but we'll see. I'll do a little testing on that and see. Okay. We're also going to work on the small intestine today. Now, one thing that you can do for yourself, if you're aware of tapping, and if not, you can go to my website, kimmcintyre.com, and download the tapping protocol. Tappingsolution.com has done some wonderful work with it. They actually have an app that you can type in what you want to tap about, and they give you a meditation to tap along with. It's really cool. So what you can do when we're working with the small intestine right now is confidence comes up. And what we're doing while we're tapping is we're tapping into the unconscious self. That's what all these meridians are connected to. And we're talking about the things we want to bring in, the things we want to change. And right now I'd like to boost confidence. Knowing exactly who I am. Knowing exactly what I have to offer. Knowing that I am a good father, a good husband. Knowing that I am confident that I am getting better at everything every single day. Always open to learning, always open to knowing when to shut up, right? Because we might not always agree, but if we can keep our confidence open, ourselves open to the possibilities that one word can make what our belief is even better, that would be pretty amazing, right? So I'm down here, I'm tapping on my fingers, and these are on my protocol. Tapping Solution doesn't use the fingers. I believe it's very important, but what they're doing is working also. So everybody's got a different approach, just like what we learned at the beginning of the session today. So let's see. Joy. Back when I first started learning the tapping, I learned that I was a very negative person. Not with intention, but I was also suffering from a lot of concussions and head injuries and emotional baggage, my own and everything that I was feeling. And there's a lot of negativity. And as we know from Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, negativity, anger, fear, aggression, those are much easier, right? They give us power, very powerful, easy to manipulate. So it's easy to be negative. It doesn't take any effort whatsoever. Whereas happiness, joy, love, compassion, those take work. It takes a lot of work to be a Jedi. To be evil? Piece of cake, right? Squish an ant, piece of cake. But what if we could learn to be joyous that that ant is there? Be joyous that the ant, again, him and his buddies keep falling on you from the tree above you. They're not biting you, but you're trying to take a nap and they're tickling you. What if we could find the joy in the tickle, right? Good. And tapping on this consciousness of the small intestine will help your small intestine meridian and therefore help balance the small intestine as well as anything and everything connected to it. Now, I'm not trained in acupuncture and I don't know what all of the points are and how they affect all the body, but you can buy yourself a book and look into that. It's literally that easy. And if you don't understand something in the book while you're doing it, guess what? you can tap on that because it just opens up your unconscious self, allows the information to come in so you can have a better understanding. Sarcasm. Releasing some sarcasm, right? Sarcasm is anger's ugly uncle or something like that, they say. I'm not telling you to never be sarcastic, right? Sometimes it's fun. Me and my daughter, sarcastic to her. Oh, you're supposed to use a sarcastic voice. Now I look foolish, right? Guardians of the Galaxy. I learn a lot from movies, so bear with me. So releasing sarcasm, so it's not so much. So you can be your truth. Good. All right. What else we got going on? And then we're going to work on the anatomy of the brain. I wonder why I keep shutting off. So let's see, we're going to come on up here. And again, I said it the other day, I need a better picture of this, or a different one to add to it. So we're going to work on the hypothalamus, balancing the energy around it. Actually, we're going to move it. So I believe that we can either physically rotate things, or maybe we're rotating the energy around it, but whatever it is, whatever's actually happening, everything can be manipulated and shifted and changed to bring it into balance so it works more efficiently. We're going to work on the brainstem, controlling the breathing, heart rate, facial expressions, and more so we can be more happy. Have you ever felt crappy and put even a fake smile on your face and sat with that for a minute and it changed the utter crappiness? Might not have changed it for 100%, but if you could tap while putting that happy face on, you can elicit some change. And then when we're happy, it's also easy to figure out what the imbalance is to allow the unhappiness to go away even easier. Very good. And not quite done. Haven't checked. Yeah, I think I might have to invest in a new router or a new modem or whatever the heck it's called. A new Wi-Fi setup. So this can be more fluid and flowing. Alright. So, here we are. Alright. So we're going to bring in some support from the directions. Bringing in energy from the west, and in my mind, energy from the west means, the sun sets in the west, it's the end of the day, it's the end of the story from what we worked on today. Clearing yesterday to allow tomorrow to be a new start. Wiping the board. Bringing energy up from the ground, support, acknowledging that the earth can support us in what we're doing and everything that we're doing. Finding balance, healing. Good. Okay. Well, that wraps up our session today. I hope you received some benefit from my stories and the work that we did. I do offer one-on-ones, kimmcintyre.com. So if you're interested in going deeper into your own self, feel free to check me out. You can book right from the website. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. Comment here. What the heck is going on? I love talking about this stuff, so put it out there. And let's see. Instagram, Moai Balance. Always putting out little tidbits I'm learning from my own journey. And yeah, so I think that's it. So I hope you have a wonderful day and keep on healing.